Are you able to see my screen, Prabhuji?
Not yet. It says Aishwarya Zadhav has started screen sharing, but a screen is not yet coming up.
Okay, I'll just stop and share once again. Sharing screen. Okay, I'll share the screen, not the window. Is it visible now?
No. Oh yeah, now. Yes.
Okay, so just close this. Okay, so yes, dear devotees, so we are discussing this wonderful series of the 26 qualities of the devotee, and today we are going to discuss this particular quality of a Vaishnava, where he or she is always respectful to everyone, always offers respect to others, manada. And again, today's session is going to be extremely simple. The discussions can be like heartfelt, light conversation, and they are going to be simple. So, before starting, I wanted to ask all of you, and you can also put down in chats, like, what is your understanding of the word respect? So, you can put down in chats if you want, you can unmute and can share your opinions. What do you mean by respect? When we say respect, what is happening there? Internally, externally?
We are giving the other person a higher status than ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Prabhuji. We are giving the other person higher status than ourselves. Anybody else would like to share? Okay, my chats are not getting reflected here, but I can still read. So, Suman Mataji says admiration for someone's qualities. So, I totally take in all your answers, Prabhuji and Mataji. So, respect can be something like where you're giving that status, or maybe more than status, I can say that you are valuing that person. You are like we understand our boundaries and we treat them with dignity, and of course like we admire their qualities, or sometimes we say that we glorify them, so like we are respecting them. So that's the basic understanding of respect that we have. And just a second, it's not okay. So here I have two people. So one is potentially, I won't call as a devotee and non-devotee. I don't like using the word non-devotee as such. But here is one person who is like having spiritual practices and is praying to Krishna, has Krishna always in center of all other activities. And let's say there is one person who doesn't have the understanding of Krishna consciousness, but can be, potential devotee in future. So what do you think, my question today is, for whom is it easier to respect everyone, and if it is this person or that person, if you can explain it to me why.
So I can give my opinion. It's very at a human level, we need to show respect for anyone, whether it's a devotee or non-devotee. Right? But it's in our culture that when we see a saint, sadhu, we bow down, we show extra respect for their sacrifice, for their sadhana that they have done. We value in our culture. Um,
Yes, I absolutely take it that Suman Mataji, like respecting others is actually part of our culture. And like even if we don't follow any particularly like bhakti culture, but even in like our culture and our values is all about respect. But there is slight little difference in both of them. devotee, what is their vision and what is the vision of the person who is yet not that person is not having Krishna in center, is that devotees will always see like all living things as part and parcel of Krishna. So a devotee's vision is to see everything around in connection to Krishna, and devotees thinks that he is always a servant and not the master. So his humility, because of the humility that he has in himself, that I always like, that always inspires him to respect everyone around. Whereas the other person, it may have like the person may have that notion that I can become master, and may not, and once you have that thought process like I am the master, and then that's how the pride begins within that person, and then it becomes very difficult for that person to respect others. So that was my little bit of understanding between both these. Just a second. Next, I would like to ask you, does this quality really matters, like irrespective of whether we are devotee or non-devotee, does this quality of respecting others, does it really matters in our day-to-day lives?
Yes.
Yes, Nupur. Can you little bit, if you want to extend your answer?
Mm, So, yeah, being respected, it would mean for me like being maybe accepted or being like going to the deeper needs, like where does this respect is taking me to?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, what comes to my head is being, I don't know if I want to say being valued, uh, but yeah, being accepted like for who I am and being treated as human, like or harmony being the basic need.
Yeah, perfect, perfect.
Yeah.
So you feel like being respected, like it gives a good feeling, but at the same time, like when we respect others, the other person also get that feeling, that feel good thing that the other person receive. So there is a feel good over here, but at the same time, we also like build strong relationships over respect. At the same time, if we see that when we respect each other, the conflicts can be reduced. And the most important thing that I was just researching on the topic of respect from a devotee point of view and psychological point of view. So actually, what happens to us is it purifies our consciousness, the inner atmosphere that is there within us. It purifies it if we start respecting, and it protects us from different and various offenses. So respecting is something not just like external, it is also internal. And as Suman Mataji, like she rightfully said, like it's our culture, so respect is part of our bhakti culture as well. So moving forward, would somebody like to read the verse and the translation, please?
Just a quick thing, Mataji, can you repeat what you said about what is respect? You had said a sentence.
uh, Respect, I said like you value the other person
Mhm.
and value the dignity of the other person, and you treat them accordingly.
Value the dignity. Okay.
Yeah. And like it's always internal, it starts from internal, not just external, because we also get to see like people sometimes they respect externally, but that's actually a classic manipulation.
Hmm.
When respect comes, when you really have that value internally, that's my understanding of respect.
Hmm. I'm just looking up the meaning of the word dignity. Like
Mm-hmm.
we throw around these words, but I want to go a little specific. So it says dignity is the inherent worth and the right of a person to be valued, respected, and treated ethically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense, Mataji. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Would anybody like to, I mean, just recite the verse and the translation from Shikshashtakam?
I can read if
Yes,
it's
Suman Mataji. Thank you so much.
okay. One to chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
Thank you, Suman Mataji. So this is like every morning we get to see like in all the temples in ISKCON daily on a daily basis. We get a reminder in temples that we should be in this particular mood during our chanting. So see, even I am struggling to chant in a proper consciousness. My quality of chanting I'm still practicing, but many times it's just parrot chanting, and many times it happens like we don't know what are we achieving in that 2 hours of the activity. So we really need to understand what is the motive and what I have to achieve. Then actually chanting can not become mechanical. So even we get to see like this is something that I've got all this from Ameya, just a second, Ameya, His Grace Ameya Mahadev Prabhuji. So I tried understanding it and I'm just sharing it all with you all. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has sung this prayer and gave us an understanding that what should be our mood during chanting. So here it goes like this: there is a prerequisite before amanina manadina. So before respect comes humility and tolerance. So imagine if we are not humble and we are not tolerant, respecting someone gets really difficult. As we saw it in the previous slides, if we have that thought process like I am the master, then it really sometimes may become difficult to respect the other person. But if you have that thought process or the mindset that I am servant, I'm serving someone, then respecting others becomes quite easy. So like in our material education as well, we get to see that during their moral science subjects, children are being taught like just like respect others, but they fail to go in depth about how is respect, how do we apply respect, how do we feel respect internally, and how do we offer. So when you feel respect internally, offering respect outside becomes very easier. But by mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we get to understand the meaning of being respectful. So like if we have these two qualities of humility and tolerance, then we are able to respect everyone around us. Before chanting, we can create a mood that I am servant of Krishna, I am servant of Guru, I am servant of dear Vaishnavas around me, and my only duty is to respect everyone around me. And then we will get to see that the quality of the chanting becomes little bit nice and goes towards meditation. The journey goes towards meditation, it becomes meditative with time. So when we are humble and tolerant, we would be able to respectful, and then comes kirtaniya sadahari in the proper mood. So moving forward, so I was also going through this like we have this quality of being respectful, which is important in advancement of our spiritual lives, and in nectar of instruction as well, like how do we deal with different kinds of devotees in the community, and how we can pay respects to them. And there is a fifth shloka. Would anybody like to read the fifth shloka's translation?
I can read.
Yeah.
One should mentally honor the devotee who chants the holy name of Lord Krishna. One should offer humble obeisances to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation, Diksha, and is engaged in worshipping the deity. And one should associate with and faithfully serve that pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others. Krishna.
Okay, thank you, dear Nupur. So this fifth shloka, like anybody who can, I'll just go back. Okay, so this fifth shloka, like anybody who chants holy name, we have to respect them through our mind or thoughts. So going back to that example or the incident when Narad Muni is actually asking Lord Brahma, like, how did you create such a huge universe? And Brahma says that I have not done anything. There is someone behind me who has created this universe. And then Narad Muni is asking who. So he says there is material nature and Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the only qualification he has is that he is the part and parcel of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So no other qualification other than this. So super soul is like always present in within living entities, and a living entity who is trying to chant and offer sevas in various temple is actually worthy of being respected. Maybe he may not be much elevated, or may that person not be like truly like advanced or a pure devotee, but he is trying somehow, so he is worthy of our respect. So in past too, this living entity was in so many different species, and they were evolving. Finally he gets this human form, and in that form he got association of the devotees, and he takes Krishna consciousness. So Krishna, and like Srila Prabhupada has given him the chance. So person who has taken diksha, or from the spiritual master, or who pay obeisances to such devotees, we should be paying obeisances to such devotees. They are the second category of the devotees. So that desire that I want to accept Guru Maharaj and I want to become disciple is such a rare desire. He has reached to this stage to receive diksha. He has seriousness. He's a serious devotee, and he has a lot of desire, that determination. He comes to that stage that where he wants to take vows, and he wants to accept the spiritual master. So such person is also worthy of respect. And the next category we get to see is the Uttam Adhikari. He is also mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, and he is a pure devotee who does not differentiate between a human being, a brahmana, or a dog, cat, or anyone. And for him everyone is equal, and he has given up his nature of criticizing others. He is not like critical of others. So he is not only worthy of like receiving respect, but giving his association. So we should be like aspiring to associate more and more with such devotees, who has given up criticism of anyone. So that's how these are the three categories like I have been like hearing to prepare for this particular lecture. And how do we deal with different types of devotees and pay them respects. So moving forward, we would little bit look into different examples where they have given respects to each other irrespective of their positions. So here we get to see like when Lord Krishna he went to Pandavas, they had meetings. Before that he will always pay respect to Yudhishthir Maharaj. So Lord himself is displaying that he is paying respect to seniors. So Krishna himself, who is like he's running the whole creation, he's the maintainer, he's maintaining the universe. He himself is actually paying respect to Yudhishthir Maharaj. So next we also see another example of Arjun in Mahabharata. When Krishna told Arjun to kill the Kauravas, all gurus, grandfathers, they stood against Arjuna, who taught him archery skills, and now they are present in the battlefield against him. But Krishna is telling Arjuna to fight, and Arjuna is asking like, how can I kill my own guru? So it is very difficult, Krishna. So that time also he is showing that respect to the spiritual master. Respect is, and he's showing respect to his gurus at the same time. So respect is not just like showing it in the behavior, like just greeting like good morning, how are you doing, or like Hare Krishna, etc. But it's actually following their instruction, whatever their instruction and their teachings are given to us, like following it. And in presence of counselors, we have gurus, we respect them, but the real respect is actually in remembering their instructions. That's the real respect. Moving forward, we have another example we also see that when we are intoxicated with pride, it is extremely difficult to respect someone. Will not be able to find some good quality in others. So in case in here in this particular example, Duryodhan was told to go and find someone who is superior to him, and he says like, I don't find anyone who is greater than me. And when Yudhishthir Maharaj was asked to find someone who is superior to him, he said that everybody is better than me in some or the other cases. So likewise, a devotee has to give up his pride to see the good quality in others and to respect others. And respect always comes through heart. So the next uh, example we get to see is when Vidura left his home. He traveled to some pilgrimages and he found Uddhava. And Vidura is asking, tell me about Krishna, his pastimes. When Vidura asked Uddhavji, why are we suffering and why are we in this material world, etc., all these questions, and Uddhava is completely like eligible to answer all these questions, but Uddhava told that you go to Maitreya Muni and take instruction from him. And here Srila Prabhupada also, like, he explains in different purports, like there is an etiquette in our culture to give a chance first to our senior devotees. So like we may be fully equipped to share the knowledge and give the knowledge, give the wisdom, but Uddhava, like here, he respected Maitreya Muni. So respect is also subtle form. Respect is also in the subtle form. Moving forward. Here I got one more example, and this was very sweet example when Raghunath Das Goswami, he went to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Raghunath Das Goswami was actually expecting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will tell him what to do now, etc. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that you go to Swarup Damodar and meet him. So Raghunath Das doesn't say that I want to take instruction from you only. So he goes to Swarup Damodar, and in respectful mood, we have to take certain instruction, not in an argumental mood. So when there is respect between two people, it becomes easier to take guidance. In lectures too, we get to see, like, before any speaker is having his lecture, his background is being discussed before the lecture, and it becomes easier for the listeners to respect the speaker and listen, and then there is absorption of the wisdom knowledge. It becomes easier. So respect is like really important here to absorb the wisdom knowledge that we hear from our seniors. And here we get to see that Prahlad Maharaj, how he was so tolerant to so many things. He came across so many different difficulties since childhood. Hiranyakashipu was a demon, but Prahlad was so respectful to his father. When Lord Narsingadev, he killed Hiranyakashipu, and Lord asked, like, Prahlad Maharaj, that what do you want? He said, just liberate my father. And in the beginning also we saw so much, like, he was respectful, and when he was asked what benediction do you want, he said, just liberate my father. So how he got this particular nature, like when he is able to say that just liberate my father, in spite, like, he suffered so much under him, but he was so compassionate to his father and others at the same time. He understands that it is the past conditionings or of the living entities. It is not that someone is like that or like this. It's due to ignorance. He had that clarity of mind, and all conditionings from so many births. This is the effect of material nature, that somebody is acting like that. But Prahlad Maharaj was able to see the soul and was able to actually, like, request Lord Narsingadev, like, kindly deliver my father. So here we get to see that he has that ability to respect others even when they disrespect you, and that reveals your inner clarity. Because he had that inner clarity, it became easy for him to respect in spite of tolerating disrespect and cruelty in return. So moving forward, I would like to ask this question. Like, can anyone share, like, if you would like to share, because this is just a light conversation, not heavy conversation. If you would like to share a past conditioning or a habit that you became aware of and you recognized, and like now you're making effort to change that habit, or maybe you have already changed it and now you're successful. So, would you like to share something? It can be light-hearted, like not very heavy, not very personal. It can be in general. You feel like this particular habit or a past conditioning or the learning that we had through some other culture or in our upbringing, that you recognized it and now you want to change it. You took some efforts. Yes, Nupur.
I can go. Yeah. So I had this habit of like being too honest, like being rude in the name of being honest. And I would blurt out like whatever I would think. And I would like, this was me in my school time. Like I would say things and I would say I'm bold or I'm honest. I would be like proud, prideful about it. So, yeah, I recognized it. And one of my school teachers also once helped me to recognize that. Like, I was in grade 8 and I was complaining to her about someone saying something to me, and she pointed out, like, you need to know, like, how you are speaking. You should hear yourself as well. So, yeah, that helped me too. Like, that stayed with me. And yeah, slow by slow, I realized that in the name of being honest, I'm just hurting people.
Okay.
So it helped me to like stay quiet at stay silent at some places.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessary to be honest and say everything everywhere.
Yeah.
And in a non-acceptable, non-respectful manner.
Yeah. True.
Disrespectful manner. Yeah. That's all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very nice, Nupur. Very nice sharing with a past incident and how you learned from your teacher. Very nice sharing. So, anybody else would like to share?
I can also share.
Yes, Jagannath Gopal Prabhuji.
So I have this um, internal, I don't know, whether it is stemming out of pride or whether it is stemming out of genuine a genuine appreciation for the philosophy, but I have this habit where if I hear somebody who is not um, like let's say in the bhakti path or anything, and then they make claims about the philosophical truths. Like recently, one lady, she was telling me, she's like, I don't even know what path she follows, definitely not the bhakti path. But she said like, oh, we do actually, you had said that day that a guru is required to approach God. But actually, you know what? You actually don't have to have a guru to approach God. And then that sort of triggered me. And then I started questioning her. I started asking her, how did you arrive at this conclusion? And how do you then? My whole mind was in it went into a state of trying to refute her claim and whatever. Like, of course, I tried as much to do it respectfully as much as I could. But then that zeal, that enthusiasm in me to refute her point actually came across. She sensed it, right? So that is something conditioning, I would say, and this is I've observed this in myself before also. Uh, sure, if people that I respect, if devotees come and tell me something, I'm open to hear it. But if somebody else who is not on the path comes and tells me, and that too something that is diametrically opposite to what I've heard, then I become very defensive. I may not speak it out to them, but then I will question them. Or if I don't have the opportunity to question them, I will like uh, my internal state of mind is how did I let this person speak like this and get away? I should have at least said something to them. ऐसे कैसे छोड़ दिया, that kind of a thing. So that is something I observed in me recently. and I want to work on it.
Hmm. Thank you, Jagannath Gopal Prabhu. That was really very personal. I mean, the habit that you said, but again, I don't know if I should call that as a habit, uh, because it's quite like anybody who point out at you and asking like suppose like why guru is required. It's a very personal thing, and if the question is respectfully asked, then we can also answer respectfully.
Mm,
If the question is little bit like if it's disrespectful, then it becomes difficult for us to
yeah.
answer respectfully. So I
Yeah.
think maybe the mood that she gave to you by asking that question, you gave it back to her, maybe possibly.
Maybe so. I started with, how did you arrive at this conclusion, first of all? So
Hmm.
that's where I started with. That was okay. That was still, I was trying to understand her.
Yeah, and
But
the
then,
best part is like you are I mean seeking for conversation.
yeah, yeah.
You're asking question, you're seeking conversation rather than just judging. Like the way the question is little bit like it's different question
Mm.
where she is saying कि, we don't need guru, why do we need guru? So it's coming from different space of the heart.
Can I share something that I recently learned in a talk?
Yes, Suman Mataji.
So in one of the, it's a talk by a saint. In that he said that if someone is saying something wrong about the God, about your Bhagwan, Guru, and your country, you should not tolerate. Everything else, if somebody is saying something wrong about you, you can tolerate. But about these three things, you should not tolerate. If you have ability to converse and make them understand, then do so. Otherwise, walk away from there. So I think Jagannath Prabhu, in your case, it was about Guru. So I think it was okay to say, in reference to what I learned, but it's individual thing.
No, so it's not like she didn't say anything specifically against any person that I revere or anything. But then it was more about the philosophical concept of
Mm.
accepting a guru. That's what she was saying, that it's not mandatory, and I was like, no, it is mandatory because that's what's been told to us. That's what the Shastras say. Tad vidhi pranipatena yasya deve parabhaktri yatha deve tatha guru. Right? You have to have faith in both Bhagwan and Guru.
Mm.
Only then Prakashante Mahatmanaha, the purports of the Vedic literature will be revealed. Prakashante. So, yeah, in that sense. And yeah, I've also heard similar thing. I mean, it is not just Guru, but even Vaishnavas. It is one of the first offense is to not blaspheme devotees, first offense against the holy name, but it is also very dangerous for our consciousness to hear blasphemy against devotees.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. I had something had come to my mind, but I forgot.
Okay, Prabhuji, maybe you can share later on when it strikes you.
Sure.
Yeah. So thank you, Suman Mataji. Definitely, like we shouldn't be tolerating anybody like blaspheming our guru. And I think maybe in this case, what I have to say, my understanding would be like Jagannath Gopal Prabhu, like you at least tried having a conversation and maybe having some verses and trying to make the person understand. Maybe the person is not ready to understand. So maybe walking away or distancing from that person is also a kind of respect.
Yeah,
Rather
that's what
than,
I
rather
thought.
than sitting there and making them understand and fighting
Correct.
with them and having more conflicts, I think respect sometimes can be just trying to
Yeah.
make them understand once and walking away.
Yeah, walk away and leave.
So,
See, one thing I realized that in that exchange, one thing I understood clearly is that this person didn't accept the authority of Shastra. Now, if you have to have a discussion, respectful discussion with someone, you have to have a common foundation based on which you can have.
yeah,
Like,
true.
you both people have to have a common foundation. If there is no common foundation, then respect would be just to. So I was thinking about it later also. One way I could have responded was I would have could have said, okay, that's very nice, thank you for sharing, and I would have kept the phone. The other way I could have done it is rather than philosophically trying to refute, I could have shown respect by trying to understand. Because see, everyone goes through a journey. It's
Yeah,
not like
true.
some people arrive at a conclusion just like that.
Yeah,
People go through a journey, people go through personal experiences. So maybe this person may have had certain bad experiences with gurus or whatever, because of
Yeah.
that shaped their thinking.
yeah,
So
yeah.
then, yeah. So then that is this thing. And but yeah, eventually I said I respect your personal realization. I don't mean any disrespect here, but it's just that I can't agree with it. It doesn't fit into any of the teachings that have been given to me like that. So I think that's what Nitya Mataji is also saying. Agreeing to disagree is a show of respect. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji, and thank you, Mataji. Agreeing to disagree is also a show of respect. Yes, yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So, anybody else would like to share something that was your habit or a past conditioning? Okay, I can share mine too. I feel like in my journey of like the life, the personal, professional, or a spiritual life, I always sometimes like get defensive when someone tries to correct me. There are many conditionings like this is one of those. So later on, like I have started reflecting, like instead of getting defensive and pulling yourself out, try to understand that what the person is trying to give you the feedback. Try to understand their feedback, try to take that as a information and try to improve yourself rather than pulling yourself away totally from that particular activity or area. So that was my past conditioning. Initially I used to definitely, like, I had this habit of being defensive, but later on I'm trying to work on it and trying to take that as a feedback and not take too many things into your head. Anybody else would like to share, or I can proceed then?
I can share, but please don't take it as a as a show off. I'm not. But I had a big time to learn when I worked in India. And the culture is different, right? The managers are sirs and madams, and that's how you call them. And whatever the boss says is good.
Yeah,
So in that, so I had a team there in India. When I came here, the same mindset. So when I had team here, I in the beginning behaved in the same manner as in India, but I got myself into trouble by behaving that way. I worked for a company in New Jersey, Johnson Johnson, and I got myself in trouble with my boss and the boss's boss because my employee complained about me. So there was a big transformation in me. I said, "Oh boy, I thought I was good. I have a long way to go. I have to learn a lot." So thereafter, it was a this 180-degree turn that I had to make in learning. The culture is different here, right, than it was in India. So it was just so much good learning, in not the sense that not everybody has same aspiration, career aspirations, right? I always behaved like, oh, everybody should perform at certain level. But I mean, learned hard way that no, not everybody has the same aspiration. You should not behave like you should perform at the same level. Some people are happy at the same level forever, right? Which is okay. No problem with that. So I was a lot of learning for me. Actually, it was huge transformation that I had to do to survive in the beginning. But I learned my lesson, and after going through trouble that I got myself into. So yeah, uh, yeah. But it made me a better person after that, obviously, because I started understanding better other people's needs and other
yeah,
respecting their what they want to do. So, yeah, so that's yeah, it was a good learning for me.
yeah.
And it's not one time learning. Constantly keep reminding yourself, because sanskaras don't go away quickly in one time. Every time the word comes out of me, or before even you speak anything, you talk to yourself inside. what do I want to say? You know. So yeah, it's a long everyday thing. Every day teaching yourself.
Yeah, true, true, true. Thank you
Mind.
so much, Mataji. Yeah, yeah. I can very much relate to it because I also worked in India and now I'm working here. So there is a, a huge difference, and I can feel that the journey of not just learning, but first unlearning things and then learning. So it's a big journey. It's not easy,
Trans-
and it also reminded me like this culture, like being a Mumbaikar, always that thing is there within me, like follow the routine, follow the time, do the
mm,
work fast, get it done. So these like
exactly.
my conditioning was like that since my childhood. And when I came here, I got a lot of peace, lot of space,
Mm,
and then I felt like I'm still in that thought process, like get it done, checklist,
mm, mm,
fast, go do this, time before time. But then I understood that I am actually not following the quality of the work or the activity.
mm, mm,
So when I realized that, slowly I am unlearning that. Then I also like recognize like always I was in survival mode some way or the other, but
mm,
now I don't have to be in that mode. I have to calm down myself and focus. I mean, focus, have the focus on the work with quality. Let the quality be there. Let my good emotion be there. That all helps in whatever work I do.
mm.
So yes, definitely the past conditioning, a lot of unlearning and a lot of efforts that we need to change it. So thank you all devotees for sharing your wonderful insights and different incidents, your learnings too. I loved asking this question and then discussing. Moving forward, okay. So we are like going to take this particular pastime where Vasudev is protecting Devki, but before that, I would, if we have time, yeah, we do. So I would request devotees if they can come forward and read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, uh, chapter 1. This is going to be from text 29 to text 55. So we'll get an idea. We are going to explore the topic of respect even more. So anybody would like to come ahead and read first 10 verses? Yes, Nupur?
Okay, from 27 to 37.
From
This is
29 to 39.
29. Sorry. Okay.
It's fine.
Some time ago, Vasudev, who belonged to the demigod family or to the Shura dynasty, married Devaki. After the marriage, he mounted his chariot to return home with his newly married wife. Kansa, the son of King Ugrasen, in order to please his sister Devaki on the occasion of her marriage, took charge of the reins of the horses and became the chariot driver. He was surrounded by hundreds of golden chariots. Devaki's father, King Devaka, was very much affectionate to his daughter. Therefore, while she and her husband were leaving home, he gave her a dowry of 400 elephants nicely decorated with golden garlands. He also gave 10,000 horses, 1,800 chariots, and 200 very beautiful young maidservants, fully decorated with ornaments. O beloved son Maharaj Parikshit, when the bride and bridegroom were ready to start, conch shells, bugles, drums, and kettle drums all vibrated in concert for their auspicious departure. While Kans, controlling the reins of the horses, was driving the chariot along the way, and an unembodied voice addressed him. You foolish rascal! The eighth child of the woman you are carrying will kill you. Kansa was condemned personality in the Kansa was a condemned personality in the Bhoja dynasty because he was envious and sinful. Therefore, upon hearing this omen from the sky, he caught hold of his sister's hair with his left hand and took up his sword with his right hand to sever her head from her body. Wanting to pacify Kans, who was so cruel and envious that he was shamelessly ready to kill his sister, the great soul Vasudev, who was to be the father of Krishna, spoke to him in the following words. Vasudev said, "My dear brother in law Kans, you are the pride of your family, the Bhoja dynasty, and great heroes praise your qualities. How could such a qualified person as you kill a woman, your own sister, especially on the occasion of her marriage? O great hero, one who takes birth is sure to die, for death is born with the body. One may die today or after hundreds of years, but death is sure for every living entity. When the present body turns to dust and is again reduced to five elements earth, water, fire, air, and ether, the proprietor of the body, the living being, automatically receives another body of material elements according to his fruitive activities. When the next body is obtained, he gives up the present body. Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Nupur. Somebody would like to read from 40 to 49?
I can read.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Sorry, 40 to 49, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Mataji is going to read. Manjari Gopi Mataji.
Okay, okay.
40 to 49, right?
Yeah, yeah, yes, Manjari Gopi.
Just a second. I'm on my phone, so
That's
yeah.
fine. Take your time.
Just as a person traveling on the road rests one foot on the ground and then lifts the other, or as a worm on a vegetable transfers itself to one leaf and then gives up the previous one, the conditioned soul takes shelter of another body and then gives up the one he had before. Having experienced a situation by seeing or hearing about it, one contemplates and speculates about that situation, and thus one surrenders to it, not considering his present body. Similarly, by mental adjustments, one dreams at night of living under different circumstances in different bodies and forgets his actual position. Under this same process, one gives up his present body and accepts another. Tatha dehantara prapti. At the time of death, according to the thinking, feeling, and willing of the mind, which is involved in fruitive activities, one receives a particular body. In other words, the body develops according to the activities of the mind. Changes of body are due to the flickering of the mind, for otherwise the soul could remain in its original spiritual body. When the when the luminaries in the sky, such as the moon, the sun, and the stars, are reflected in liquids like oil or water, they appear to be of different shapes, sometimes round, sometimes long, and so on because of the movements of the wind. Similarly, when the living entity, the soul, is absorbed in materialistic thoughts, he accepts various manifestations as his own identity because of ignorance. In other words, one is bewildered by mental concoctions because of agitation from the material modes of nature. Therefore, since envious, impious activities cause a body in which one suffers in the next life, why should one act impiously? Considering one's welfare, one should not envy anyone, for an envious person must always fear harm from his enemies, either in this life or in the next. As your younger sister, this poor girl, Devaki, is like your own daughter and, and deserves to be affectionately maintained. You are merciful, and therefore you should not kill her. Indeed, she deserves your affection. Shukadev Goswami continued, O best of the Kuru dynasty, Kamsa was fiercely cruel and was actually a follower of the Rakshasas. Therefore, he could be neither pacified nor terrified by the good instructions given by Vasudev. He did not care about the results of sinful activities, either in this life or in the next. When Vasudev saw that Kamsa was determined to kill his sister Devaki, he thought to himself very deeply. Considering the imminent danger of death, he thought of another plan to stop Kamsa. As long as he has intelligence and bodily strength, an intelligent person must try to avoid death. This is the duty of every embodied person. But if death cannot be avoided in spite of one's endeavors, a person facing death commits no offense. Vasudev considered, by delivering all my sons to Kamsa, who is death personified, I shall save the life of Devaki. Perhaps Kamsa will die before my sons take birth, or since he is already destined to die at the hands of my son, one of my sons may kill him. For the time being, let me promise to hand over my sons so that Kamsa will give up this immediate threat, and if in due course of time Kamsa dies, I shall have nothing to fear. Haribol.
Haribol, thank you, Manjari Gopi. Uh, Anybody else from 51 to 55?
Sure, I can read.
Yes, Manji.
When a fire for some unseen reason leaps over one piece of wood and sets fire to the next, the reason is destiny. Similarly, when a living being accepts one kind of body and leaves aside another, there is no other reason than unseen destiny. After thus considering the matter as far as his knowledge would allow, Vasudev submitted his proposal to the sinful Kamsa with great respect. Vasudev's mind was full of anxiety because his wife was facing danger, but in order to please the cruel, shameless, and sinful Kamsa, he externally smiled and spoke to him as follows. Vasudev said, O best of sober, you have nothing to fear from your sister Devaki because of what you have heard from the unseen omen. The cause of death will be her sons. Therefore, I promise that when she gives birth to the sons from whom your fear has arisen, I shall deliver them all unto your hands. Srila Shukdev Goswami continued. Kamsa agreed to the logical arguments of Vasudev, and having full faith in Vasudev's words, he refrained from killing his sister. Vasudev, being pleased with Kamsa, pacified him further and entered his own house.
Okay. Thank you, Jagannath Gopal Prabhuji. So, thank you everyone for reading these verses. Going back, so all we read the verses, and I'm going to tell the story again in short. When actually Kamsa learns that Devki's eighth son will be his destroyer, he becomes very furious and he decides to kill her. And at the wedding ceremony itself, what he does is he draws his sword to kill Devki. And at that moment, Vasudev intervenes. He calmly and he respectfully he speaks to Kamsa. He reminds Kamsa that killing Devki is a great sin and will not solve any problem. So Vasudev then offers a practical solution. He will bring every child born to Devki to Kamsa so that Kamsa feels secure. Kamsa, satisfied for a moment by Vasudev's words, he agrees and he spares Devki's life. And Vasudev thus protects Devki through diplomatic respect. So, but he's respecting he throughout, like Bhagavatam, he's been portrayed as a respectful someone who has respect as a quality. It's just that his respectful way of dealing with this particular incident, it's reflecting right now from within. It's getting reflected in his dealings right now. So I just wanted to ask you, after this particular pastime, when we have Vasudev in the center, so what do you think, like what are the learnings that we got from Vasudev in this particular incident that we read and we understood?
You utilized diplomacy
Mm-hmm.
with someone who is not open to hearing proper reason.
Yes, I totally agree. I totally agree.
So,
But even this like even if like the word diplomacy doesn't feel manipulative over here in this particular context, because he is trying to respectfully stop the immediate violence which is about to happen. So he's trying to deal with it respectfully using respectful words, and that's how he's using diplomacy. So yes, I take your answer. Anybody else would like to share?
that's the same thing, Aishwarya Mataji, that even if Kansa did not deserve that because he was cruel, did not deserve respect, Vasudev still respected him
Yeah.
because it was his quality.
Yep, absolutely. Like he didn't had that hatred for Kamsa at that particular time, and he was like he didn't start like abusing him at that particular moment. He's still being respectful at that particular moment. So yes, Suman Mataji. Anybody else would like to say something, and then we can look into some other points too. I am not able to see the chat, so I have no clue.
Nothing on a chat.
Sorry, unable to read, but I used to have a lot of self pity or victimization. Okay, Lekha Mataji. I'm so sorry I did not read these chats before.
My mistake as well.
No,
I
no, no, not yours, Prabji.
should
Like
have read
I
out.
should have, when I was asking question, I should have checked it that time. But yeah, Lekha Mataji has given victimization as a past conditioning, maybe probably. Okay, so we will look into different points that we learn from Vasudev and how we can also like not imitate him, but try to understand what kind of diplomacy was it and how we can be respectful to a person who is actually cruel. So the first point can be he used a respectful and strategic speech. So this opens a deep teaching on how respect can itself can become a form of protection. He tried using that speech to protect Devki. Next, Vasudev's respectful speech reflects his inner consciousness. Like he used his intelligence and his good communication skill, and the respect is actually reflecting from his consciousness. Next, we get to see that Vasudev isn't he wasn't reacting, but he was responding with self control. Many a times it happens in incidents or in times when we are fearful or we are scared, we are full of anxiety, we tend to react. So again here he is not reacting, he is taking pauses, he's creating space for himself, and he's responding. He already has the self control, all that different qualities are in use to deal with this particular incident. Then he created space for himself and the solution. He's respectful, and the words that he used, they prevented the immediate violence. And actually that's how he created the space for himself. So by using respectful words, again here when I say respecting others doesn't mean like he's manipulating the situation. He's trying to respect and create a space where he can calm down Kamsa somewhere. Moving on, the fifth point is humility can be strength and not weakness. Sometimes we feel like humility is like you totally submit to that other person, but here he is actually consciously using humility as a strength. He's being humble, he's being respectful, but at the same time that becomes his strength. He is able to avoid the immediate violence, and that is in his favor in this particular incident. And the sixth one is words can be stronger than weapons. this shows that the speech that he has used is actually redirecting the dangerous situation, and the words here are more, I mean, stronger than the weapon. He didn't start fighting you with weapons over there. He used good, respectful words and some strategies to calm him down. And last but not the least, respect can actually disarm ego driven aggression. So Kamsa is like temporarily pacified now because Vasudev does not challenge him emotionally. So Vasudev is actually teaching us that true respect is intelligent communication, where we can be using calm and nice, modest words that becomes that can actually de-escalate the violence. That can actually de-escalate the violence. Moving forward, here is that Vasudev shows that respect is not only a spiritual ideal, it is actually a practical tool that can be applied for navigating real life conflicts without losing dharma. So this is a huge statement again. Definitely, we are looking for a quality where we can develop respecting quality within ourselves, not using it as a tool but imbibing within ourselves, and that actually helps us to navigate real life conflicts without losing dharmas. This is very challenging at times. So these are the application points that we learn, like respect. What respect does is respect actually prevents escalation. We get to see during conflict situation, or if the person is aggressive, this can actually prevent escalation. So using of respectful words can be helpful there. In family relations, sometimes we want harmony and peace. As Nitya Aishwarya Mataji said, like we can respectfully disagree. Disagreements are always going to be there. No two people are same in this world, so disagreements are always going to be there. But we can always have respect, and we can. That's how it helps to maintain harmony within different relationships. Then at workplace too, disagreement sometimes with authorities or colleagues, but we can respectfully do it, and we can use some calm and good, logical communicative words to convince, etc. And respect is response, not reaction. So respect is not a reaction. It comes after taking a pause and a space for yourself. You think, and then you use those words. And last but not the least, like respect reflects your inner consciousness. We have already spoken about it. And in spiritual life, respect all beings as part of divine arrangement, even when behavior is difficult. So sometimes we come across behaviors that are difficult, but respecting all beings, even if they are disrespectful towards yourself, then we can take it as a divine arrangement and try to be respectful even after that. So last but not the least, I was just going through many quotes, and I got this beautiful quote by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and where he says that respect always creates space, but ego destroys it, and the world changes when we choose which one to carry. So this is a beautiful quote, and the learning for me from this particular quote is that when we respect others, it will always create that space, and in that space our actually devotional life and our life in general can also flourish and prosper. So thank you so much for joining, everybody. Any questions or comments or anything that you would like to ask?
Thank you, Mataji. Beautiful. I'm just thinking like the Sanskrit word for this is manada, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just thinking mana also means pride, right?
Yeah.
Amanitvam adambhitvam, humility, pridelessness. So mana is also like pride. So respect in one sense is pride in others. in one sense. But anyway, that's just a speculative mind of mine trying to do something. But thank you for the class. Very nice, very nice instances. So many nice examples you gave from scriptures. Very nice. Thank you. And yeah, the example of Vasudeva is also very curious and mysterious because yeah, he did it very respectfully, and it is interesting that one of the reasons Kamsa was a sinful guy, right? Kamsa was a sinful guy, so he like if he would have killed also, then there wouldn't be like any like people would be like, yeah, Kamsa is anyway a cruel guy. He killed. Usme kya hai? But the fact that he agreed to the proposal of Vasudeva was surprising. And it is said, I read somewhere, I forget where, but Vasudev actually he was so respectful and he kept his word. Vasudev was very strong about keeping his word.
Yeah.
So Kamsa actually knew that. Kamsa knew that if Vasudev is giving a word, he will not go away from his word. So that is why he agreed, okay, I will allow you to live, allow Devaki to live if you promise, because he knew that if Vasudev promises, he will give.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and interestingly, the same Vasudev, after this Krishna was born, and then Krishna takes his four-handed form, tells Vasudev, drop me to Vrindavan and everything. So then Vasudev does that, comes back, and then that time Vasudev doesn't say, Kamsa, Kamsa. Actually, I went to Vrindavan and kept that baby and came back. He was not honest there, right? He didn't say anything there. He didn't reveal that. So it is interesting. He showed respect, diplomacy, and then he, very correctly he kept the information sealed where
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
needed.
Yeah.
His honesty, his respect was not towards Kamsa was not unreasonable, right?
True.
He didn't say that, oh, sorry, Kamsa, I'm really sorry. I had promised you I was going to give you all babies, but this eighth baby told me to do this, and I did this, and I gave this baby in Vrindavan in the house of Nanda. He didn't say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
didn't say
True.
that. So it's interesting. Anyway, yeah, that is something I wanted to say. Other than that, yeah, again, as I said, a very nice class, very nice questions to ponder upon. I just had a question, Mataji. This question about the past conditioning, a past conditioning that we are trying to work on. How does that relate to respect, the topic of respect?
Exactly, exactly. And when I was preparing for this, Nadia Kishore Prabhuji was scanning my whole presentation and he was asking me questions. And he also asked me the same question. How can you connect this question with the respect, the topic of respect? So actually, before that, we had a slide where Prahlad Maharaj is actually he's trying to look at the soul, and he's saying, Lord Narsingh Dev, like, liberate my father. So he had that clarity within himself, like, the person is in ignorance, or the person may be having some past conditioning, so he has that compassion within him already. So
Hmm.
this question was just to bring out that feel in the class where we also try to understand each other and then others, outside Zoom class, that everybody, all of us, has some or the other past conditioning, and we all are working, we all are in journey, and just let's be respectful to everybody around us. I know it sounds little bit tricky, but we can stay respectful in different ways.
Jagannath Prabhu, to your point of that Vasudeva did not disclose that he left the baby, its baby, in then Anand Baba's place. I
Hmm.
heard in one of the talks that Krishna took that part of the memory away from Vasudeva.
Hmm.
Is that in our shastras, or it's just you have
I
any
mean,
insight?
yeah, I personally haven't heard this anytime. But then if so. But then Vasudev always knew that Krishna and Balram are his sons and they are in Vrindavan because Akrura was sent to bring them back, right? So he definitely knew that he left the baby in Vrindavan now.
Mm.
Maybe for that particular period of time that memory was covered, but yeah, I don't know. Could be very well.
Yeah, he was not Krishna, actually Yogamaya. I think that's what I had heard.
Yeah, could
My
be. Yeah.
memory away for a short period of time. That he did
Yeah.
not lie to Kansa. Kansa that
Mm,
that he, yeah. And Krishna can do anything, right? So
yeah,
to protect his devotees.
true, true.
Very nice class that very wonderful class of many points that we take to our daily life in our daily engagements and implement that to create a space. That's one point, right? We try to react to other people's disrespect or something that we don't agree or like. But if respect is at the background, that can be avoided. So it's a highlight of the class or to take away message. Keep respect in mind. Thank you for that.
Just a small anecdote I'll share in Prabhupada's life. You initially you quoted Trinada Pishuni Chena, right? So once Prabhupada has had a god brother called Adi Keshav Prabhu, OBL Kapoor. And Adi Keshav Prabhu knows this, and I've OBL Kapoor. He has written some nice books on bhakti. So then so there is an incident in Prabhupada's life. So Prabhupada was a chemist by profession. And then Prabhupada would make all these formulas and he would, distribute. So then he made this particular syrup, uh, somewhat like a multivitamin, a nice thing to have. And then he met this Adikeshav Prabhu, was also Grihastha. So Prabhupada was also Grihastha that time. So he gave this tonic to this Adikeshav Prabhu. And then he said, this is a nice tonic. You should take it. It'll improve your health and this help you in this way in your health and this and that. So then Adikesha Prabhu took that and then he asked Prabhupada, but Abhay Babu, do you have any tonic which will help me chant the holy names? And then Prabhupada said, yes, there is a tonic. Don't you know? There is a very nice tonic that will help you chant the holy names nicely. And he said, this is the tonic. Trinadapi shuni chaina tarorapi sahishnuna. Amani namanadena kirtaniya sadati. So, yeah, a nice anecdote about Trinadapi shuni chaina.
Yes, thank you so much, Prabji, for sharing this.
Not at all.
That's the takeaway for me.
Any other thoughts, dear devotees?
Jagannath Prabhu, can you please translate the last verse that you said? Translate
Yeah,
it in
so
English.
yes, Trinadapi Shunichena is Trin is grass. So you should be sorry, Trin is not grass. What is Trinadapi Shunichena? Humbler than a blade of grass. Yeah. Trina is grass. So Trinadapi Shunichena. You should be humbler than a blade of grass. Tarorapi Sahishnuna. Like the tree, you should be more tolerant than a tree. Sahishnuna. Amanina is not expecting respect, and Manadena is always respecting others. When a person has these four qualities, humility, tolerance, giving respect to others, and expecting none in return, then in that state of mind, one can chant the holy names constantly. Kirtaniya Sadahari. Like that. So this is a
Thank
very
you.
famous verse quoted by our Guru Maharaj very, 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 very often. Radhanath Swami.
Thank you, Jagannath Prabhu. It's hard though to be like that.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not easy.
yeah. And this is not even the ultimate thing about bhakti. The ultimate thing in bhakti is Aslishyava Padratam Pinashtumam, the last verse of Shikshashtakam.
Yeah.
That is the highest thing. So, yeah. But we have to start with this humility.
Mm. A constant endeavor to move in that direction.
Yeah, yeah. Aslisha Padratam, that verse is basically Krishna, you treat me as you want.
Mm.
You kick me, you hit me, or you embrace me, you do whatever you want, you will be my Prananath.
Mm.
That is the last verse, that is the highest consciousness that gopis have for Krishna.
Mm.
But in order to get there, we have to practice this Trinada Pichuni Chena.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, dear devotees, if there is nothing more, we will close for today and meet next week, next Tuesday. Nupur is going to speak on Manadena, always giving respect to others, which she's so nicely doing already. So yeah, let's meet next Tuesday. Dear devotees, Vancha kalpatarubhyascha कृपा सिंधुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय हर ग्रेस ऐश्वर्या माता जी की जय
Hare
Hare Krishna.